Hi, my name is Kisibla My ID number is IT136642. In this assignment, I am mainly focusing on fixing broken access control and cryptography issues. When it comes to the broken access control, previously there isn't any uh, access control method implemented. So if a user knows a URL, correct URL to the page, he can easily bypass the login page and enter to that page. So to fix that issue, what I did was in every page load, I check if the user is authenticated. If user authenticated, I allow page to load. If isn't, I will redirect user to the login page. So when it comes to the cryptographic issues, in previous version, user password is stored as a plain text in the database. To fix that issue, I use salt and hash method. So what I did was first I generated a random sort, then using that sort and the password, I hashed the password using SHA-256. Then I stored this hash password and the salt in the database. So then the other cryptographic issue was the application database connection string is stored in the webconfig file, and if a hacker or attacker get access to this webconfig file, he can easily find the database IP address and database username and password. So to fix that issue, what I did was I stored all of these connection details in a CFG file in the server directory. So and I also encrypted the user ID and the password. So if someone get access to this file, he cannot find the username and password. And I put the file path in the webconfig file. Then I access this data using this connection.cs file. This will read the file and create the connection string so we can use in the application. That's all for my part. Thank you.
Hello, I'm Aditi Javardhan and IT number is IT230454. In this, I will discuss about the SQL injection and the executor design issue. In this product page, there are some SQL injection issues. Left hand side, you can see the previous code, and the right hand side, you can see the updated code. Here, I use the parameterized queries and also I use the sanitize and validate search input as it need. And also this is the add in the search input I use the add value method. In the order page also has some SQL injection issue. Here you can see the updated code part, uh, which add the parameterized queries. In the login page, there are some insecure design issues. That means they didn't provide any password return limit. So my updated code, I use the three methods to check user have exceed the password limit. Here's the updated code. If it is user exceed the maximum limit, it will lock out the uh, account. In the checkout page, there are some SQL injection issue. In this, I update the code using the parameterized queries. It's the updated code part. And in this, I use the insert order details to see the retrieve order ID. In the card page, also have some SQL injection issue. Here, you can see the updated code, which use the parameterized query. Uh, and also, in the ad product page, there are some SQL injection issue. To fix this, I use the parameterized queries and validate the user input before proceeding. This is the updated code part. Uh, And this is the validate user input and add more validations as it needs. There are all for the my part. Thank you.
My part is authentication and identification failure, and also insufficient monitoring and login failure. For the authentication and identification failure, I have added made the user to add a strong password in the front end, and this is the form part. Here I have also added the email verification part. In the previous code, there is no such implementation, and this is the backend code. Here the user is here the verification code generation function and sending the verification email, storing verification in database functions are called, and when the button submit verification click is called, it will give this is verification code valid, call the this function, and these are implemented here like this. These parts are the for email verification implementation, and this is for the strong password implementation. There is no such implementation in the previous code. When going to the login part, here I have added two-factor authentication. Here the generate OTP and send OTP by email is implemented. This is the function call for that. This part, and there is no such implementation in the previous original application. And for the insufficient monitoring and login, I have used Serilog for that. These are the log statements I have written, and these will be added to a log file. And that's all for my part.
Lanka PSC. Here the first main vulnerability that I have found is absence of anti-CSRF tokens. To fix that vulnerability, first of all, it should install package Microsoft.ASP.NET.WebPages with using package manage console in Visual Studio. And in the web.config file, it should add this code part. And since this vulnerability found in both logging and register page, it should fix those files. As you can see in the logging.aspx.cs file, this code part added to generate CSRF token. This is to store token to validate it later. And then this is to set the CSRF token as hidden field. And in the button logging click function, it will validate the CSRF token like this. After validating the CSRF token, it will process the login successfully. And if CSRF token validate failed, it will show the error like this. Likewise, as you can see, the same process happens in the register.aspx.cs file. And the other vulnerability that I have found, that I have fixed is missing and click checking header vulnerability. To fix that vulnerability, here in the both logging.aspx.cs file and register.aspx.cs file, I have used this code part to set X-frame options header to deny embedding in iframes. But since this vulnerability happens either content security policy with frame ancestors directive or X-frame options, here since I had fixed X-frame options only because the content security policy does work on some versions. So because of that version issue, according to this documentation also, it can only fix the 3 X-frame options under the missing click checking header vulnerability. So that's all about